We will be ringing in the new year in just a few days. You may be starting to think about the goals you want to achieve next year, from career to health and fitness goals. But how do we get started on the right path? Joining us in the studio, Aaron Dela Cruz, fitness coach of Rise Up PH. Most people know him as Coach A. Merry Christmas, Coach A. Welcome to Newsfeed at Noon.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for having the time to join us here today, a day after Christmas.
Yes.
Now, first of all, we have our New Year's resolution. Some of us may have New Year's resolutions lined up already. So maybe 2025 may be the year we finally reach our ultimate fitness goals and our bodybuilding goals. But the question is, how do we even begin? How do we start?
Well, it starts with how you view your fitness goals first. Most people look at it like, I'm going to do this for 3 months. But the goal is, for me, the way I coach my clients and I share with my audience is that you have to look at it from start to finish at the end of the year. So wherever you are at the end of 2024, your ultimate goal is not to be there by the time you reach 2025. That way, everything else that you're planning to do with your fitness is geared towards you becoming a permanent transformation of who you want to become.
Because most of us probably, or some of us may think, okay, it's just summer goals, right? The summer body that we all want. But not many people know that this should be for the long term, right? So please share with us your philosophy, which will greatly help us on our, on how we approach fitness.
Well, I'm glad to do that. But first and foremost, I think most people need to realize that wherever they go in life, your body will be the anchor of whatever success you will be. Having that in mind, you will look at it long term immediately, because your success in all aspects of your life will be limited how long your body will be with you. So for them to be able to do that, they start off first slow at the start of the year, coming from their fitness goals and eventually achieving what they want to do at the end of the year. And that starts with 4 things I truly believe, which is 1, you have to indoctrinate that you want to be fit for life. You have to integrate those things to your daily life as you do them all the time, and you build consistency and accountability. The third one is for you to adhere to the plans you want to do. And the fourth one is for you to always make adjustments, because fitness is not one cyclical straight line. It goes down and up at some point in your life. When you get busy, when you get sick, all of those things come into play. So you have to make sure that you make adjustments all the time.
You're very correct. There are ups and downs even to fitness, right? Like when you mentioned, you get sick, you get busy. So there are roadblocks as well that you have to hurdle. What's the first thing that you would advise, or what's the first tip that you would give when we encounter roadblocks?
Well, you also have to go back to your routine. That's why it has to be integrated to your daily life. For me, I believe in 4 things when it comes to fitness that will really be integrated. 1, you gotta walk all the time. Walking is the best exercise you can do, not only for your health, but also for creating that mental space for you to be ready all the time. Second one, you have to build strength. It has always been researched all the time. Being strong will be very beneficial from start to finish, wherever you are in your fitness life. Third one, instead of going to a diet, try to find a structure in how you eat. Try to go for eating at the same time, eating protein-rich diets. That way, you won't have to think of how these diets will work for you. Last one, always create that mindset. Like I said a while ago, indoctrination. Indoctrinating that you truly believe that you should become your fittest version of yourself. And that needs constant reminder that you have to do all the time.
Diet is a big part of it, right? And it's important that we know what we put into our bodies. We start eating healthy as well. And then, like you mentioned, integrate fitness into our lifestyle. Make it a lifestyle already. Okay, so that we will think of it as more a permanent way, like for the longer term, not just a temporary fitness goal. So what do we do then, Coach A, when we don't reach our goals, like for the 3 months in, we're not seeing any results, or middle of the year of 2025, we didn't achieve anything. What would you do?
Well, if that's the case, like I said, you always have to find adjustments. Things will not go your way all the time. And that constant adjustment of you knowing your starting point and where you live, you catch where you live off, that's the goal all the time. So, for example, you weren't able to achieve the things you set out at March. You gotta continue from April. You gotta go back to your routine. You gotta start walking, eating better, all the time. The thing with fitness, it never ends. The more you try to put that in your head that this shouldn't end, the more you release yourself from the pressure of achieving things immediately. Because in my experience, in my 14, 15 years of coaching, that's the very thing that's limiting people. Their agenda, their expectations of achieving things fast, that's the thing that's limiting them from achieving whatever they want permanently. And removing that mindset will always help you think of it long-term and permanently.
Yeah. You know, Coach A, I read something about setting realistic goals.
Yeah.
Can you explain this to us? And what are examples of realistic goals?
Realistic goals is knowing your starting point all the time. People assume that when they try to put hard things immediately at the start of their year, they can sustain that up until the end of the year. That's not the case all the time. Your realistic goals, meaning, for example, you weren't fit a few months back. You can't put something hard to the things you want to do immediately. You have to pave the way for you to learn how to do the hard things properly, lifting properly, walking more, running, all of those things come into play that you have to start slow. That's the very thing that's going to help you achieve your goals faster and permanently.
Also, somebody said to me, make it a habit. How do you start?
Making a habit, first you have to find a routine that works for you. Set your schedule. All of us have our schedules, we just don't concentrate on that. By making sure you have a time for fitness, for walking, for taking time to think of what you want to do, for you to eat properly at a certain time, all of those things will be your anchor in creating a sustainable schedule for your life outside of fitness and your fitness goals.
Maybe for some people, an hour of running and weights may work, but for some people, it's just 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, in fact, for others, for those who don't have time to walk, what I suggest to them, after eating, get out and take a 5 to 8 minute walking. That's more than enough for you to get moving.
Right, so just get started, make it a habit, maybe do 10 minutes or 15 minutes of workout, then just do it every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so now finally, Coach A, what are the trends we should watch out for in terms of fitness?
Well, AI has been really big this last year. I think it's gonna make big comeback. No, not big comeback. Gonna make a big splash coming 2025. A lot of the fitness apps will be there as well, and a lot of digital stuff, especially for watches. People are very into that now. Apps that will help them see where their goals are, and I think that's going to be a big trend this coming 2025.
All right, top 3 advice for those who want to get started 2025 day 1, January 1. What advice would you give them?
Start slow, finish strong. So think about it long term. Think about 12 months of the year that you want to do this. Remove the expectations, and then don't think of it too much. Start somewhere, start now.
All right, you heard it from Coach A. Thank you so much, Coach A, for joining us today. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you so much, Mike.